fake lively. She just like had this like little blossom hat on, ugh, and just like scurried around like a little silverfish. Be so embarrassed of her and be like, oh my God, I am so sorry. Just like to get to the table and was like, oh, hi. And just like flicked her finger up at me and then went and sat down. I watched her mom.
Why is Hollywood buzzing about Blake Lively's so-called dirty behavior? Former protégé Felicia Cooper paints a shocking picture of Blake's cold, calculated attitude, starting with a jaw-dropping Cheesecake Factory encounter you won't believe. Is fake Lively the real Blake? Stick around to find out what's got fans questioning her America's sweetheart crown. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great! Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Imagine walking into a restaurant, excited to meet someone who's almost a family legend, only to be met with a cold shoulder so icy you'd think you'd walked into a freezer.
Blake Lively, which we all, of course, want to hear about. What was your experience with her, and was she very different from the rest of the family?
Because I was paying for coaching, right? And she had stressed them out so bad, like Robin couldn't even focus because she was like, Blake is on some bullshit, and she's...
That's the exact position Felicia Cooper says she found herself in when she met Blake Lively at a Cheesecake Factory. And yes, she's been telling this story ever since it happened. Felicia wasn't just a random fan hoping for an autograph. Her connection to Blake's family comes through Robin Lively, Blake's older sister, who had become something of a mentor to Felicia. Robin even treated Felicia like extended family, which made the situation sting that much more. So when the opportunity arose to meet Blake, a Hollywood star with a reputation for charm and grace.
Oh my God, yes. So, it's a Thursday night. I'm waiting tables at the Cheesecake Factory, right? And she had stressed out Robin so badly and her mom right before my audition that I still had to pay for.
It seemed like a no-brainer that this would be a positive experience, but Felicia's recounting paints a very different picture of Blake Lively, one of indifference and straight-up coldness. Picture this scene. Felicia sits at a Cheesecake Factory table with Robin and Blake, nervously waiting for even a flicker of acknowledgement from Blake. She says that moment never came. No, "Hey, nice to meet you." No smile, not even a glance that suggested Blake saw her as anything but a random nobody.
And so Elaine and her family and Uncle Ernie and stuff comes in. I always call him Uncle Ernie, even though he's...
Is that the dad?
Yeah, that's the dad. She's just mean. She's cruel. She's a cruel person. I'll say it out loud.
You're not the first person to say that. I've spoken.
According to Felicia, it was as if Blake didn't just ignore her, she actively made her feel invisible. And it wasn't a crowded event or a press-filled arena. This was a casual setting, a family-like moment, that turned into Felicia feeling smaller with every passing second.
So they all come in. It's really late night. We're all waiting tables and stuff. Everyone was so polite to me. Guess who was not? She couldn't even be bothered to say hello. And the whole table was embarrassed by her.
Why does this kind of cold shoulder cut so deep? Experts say that public rejection, especially from someone who's admired, can lead to feelings of humiliation, self-doubt, and even long-term emotional fallout, all of which reportedly hit Felicia like a freight train that day. This restaurant encounter became so infamous in her circles that Blake allegedly earned herself a nickname, Fake Lively. And according to rumblings, this wasn't a one-off. The patterns don't stop at acquaintances and mentees either. Rumor has it, her family has caught some of the same reported chill. What happens when the persona you've built starts to crack, and even your closest family members are left questioning who you really are?
Fake Lively. She just like had this like little blossom hat on, ugh, and just like scurried around like a little silverfish. And I was like, so she just treats people that way? Okay.
According to Felicia Cooper, that's exactly the situation Blake Lively found herself in. Let's talk about how Felicia claims Blake's behavior allegedly left ripple effects so deep they reached her own sister, Robin Lively, during a critical moment in Robin's career. Here's the scene. Robin was gearing up for a major audition, a momentous opportunity that could have shifted her career. You'd assume her sister, who had already achieved stardom, would be all in, cheering her on, maybe even offering guidance. But as Felicia tells it, the reality couldn't be further from that ideal. Instead of being a source of encouragement, Blake allegedly brought an energy so stressful it hung over the entire preparation process like a dark cloud. Felicia claims that prepping for the role was overshadowed by Blake drama, and this wasn't just slight bickering, it was a complete mood killer.
Just like to get to the table and was like, oh, hi. And just like flicked her finger up at me and then went and sat down. I watched her mom. It was okay.
Wow.
Like I kept my cool, kept my calm, but she couldn't even be bothered to look at me.
Imagine walking into what should be a day of focus only to be met with a wall of tension, reportedly courtesy of your own sibling. The real kicker here? Robin's confidence suffered. The exact opposite of what you'd expect when someone famous in the family could have used their experience to empower her. According to Cooper, Blake's calculated coldness came off like she held an emotional power play even within her own family. And this wasn't just an everyday spat either. It allegedly impacted Robin at the exact time when she needed familial support the most. This brings us to the wider narrative that Felicia's been shouting about, the nickname Fake Lively. The name didn't come from nowhere, and as Felicia puts it, it kind of sticks. Blake's alleged perfection in front of the camera contrasts so sharply with what's described behind the scenes that people couldn't help but notice. And it's not just the family, industry insiders reportedly whisper about it, but here's the thing. No one dares to speak up. Why? Call out someone like Blake and risk being blacklisted. In Hollywood, keeping quiet is often easier than challenging the power dynamics. But what happens when you mix such behavior with one of the most powerful celebrity couples in Hollywood? That's an entirely different story. Felicia Cooper's story about Blake Lively peels back the polished surface of Hollywood's perfect sweetheart image, revealing cracks that can't be ignored. It's a bold reminder that what we see on magazine covers or charming talk show appearances might not tell the whole story. As Felicia said, Blake worked hard to build her Pinterest-perfect persona, but these allegations paint a different picture. Maybe the nickname Fake Lively isn't just gossip, but a reflection of something deeper. So, the next time you're enchanted by a celebrity's glow, ask yourself, what's real, and what's just a clever filter of Hollywood smoke and mirrors?